Hi, everyone. I'm here with Nicole, the gut girl. Thanks for being here, Nicole.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to talk about cortisol. So, first, this is something that's very important.
Mhm.
It does a lot of things. First, tell us what it is so everybody understands what it is.
So, cortisol is a hormone, and it's what brings you up and kind of your fight or flight, and then brings you down into rest and digest. It's really, really important in the body, and we have really changed how that's done in our systems.
So, there's some negative and positive that could go with this, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things that I've been, and the reason why I picked this topic, it was because I'm having a lot of people bring me lab work from their physicians who are doing a blood test on that, on cortisol levels. And usually it's a morning cortisol level. And that's not telling the full story. What I do in my practice is do a saliva test, and it's a 4-point saliva test so that you can see first wake, mid morning, afternoon, and nighttime so that you get the entire picture of what that cortisol range is doing. Because you might have cortisol that's really good in the morning. Well, what happened? When does it go down? And that's very important to the human body.
So, what if it's high? What if it's too high?
So too high, you're always in fight or flight. The body is all, think about it as a bank account. So your body, you may have enough in savings to cover it, but your body's always tapping from savings. So sooner or later, it's going to have to get that somewhere else when it depletes it. And that's when you get autoimmune conditions. That's when you get hormone issues. A lot of people, when they have hormone issues, I do cortisol issues, I test their hormones, or vice versa. They come in and they're terribly low in hormones and they say they're 25 and they shouldn't be. I look at their cortisol, and now we go into looking at their stress levels.
Okay, what if it's too low?
So too low is you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So, which is never a good choice. So your body has to take that from somewhere and make you run on that all day long. So you're going to feel really fatigued. This is where people come into my office and they feel exhausted all the time and can't get out of it. This is because you're probably not peaking at all in your cortisol levels. It's just one little steady train because they can't pull from anywhere else. A lot of the times, this now gets pulled from your immune system, and now you start seeing other things come in. You get really sick.
Okay, so how do we get our cortisol right?
So, this is kind of a trick question, and I'm not going to answer it fully, only because there are supplements you can use for cortisol, but I don't like to throw those supplements out because they can be used really wrong and flip at the wrong time. So, the best way in lifestyle to change cortisol is number one, sleep. You have to get good sleep, good interrupted sleep, and go to bed at the same times and wake up at the same time every morning. Your body really likes that so that it can regulate itself.
Yeah, I mean that's something I do. I go to bed at about 9:30. I get up at about 6:30, you
Yeah.
know. And
And
so go ahead.
believe it or not, decrease your caffeine intake. Caffeine intake is kind of that robbing of the bank to try and pull out your cortisol. Now you're just tanking it faster because the minute that caffeine rolls off, you hit harder. So if you decrease, I have lots of people who come in here and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to drink 3 energy drinks a day. And I'm like, well, you're going to kill yourself. Um, Decrease caffeine. Somebody's drinking a pot of coffee all day long. You have a cortisol issue. That's not that. And once you become addicted to that, you're probably going to tank your cortisol on its own.
So how about exercise? How does that affect?
Great question. So, exercise is wonderful, except for if you're over exercised, you're now putting a stress on the body. So, what you want to do is if you have cortisol issues, I start from the basics with people. Start walking. Then, when walking becomes fun again, and you're like, okay, I feel really energized after that, I add in a 15-20 minute low weight workout. Then we go from there. You have to move in exercise with what your cortisol level is. I went through this with my thyroid. My thyroid was tanked. I was just busting through, runs and exercises and all this kind of stuff. But I was feeling worse after that exercise. But being an A personality, I was like, well, what will I be if I don't? What will happen to me if I don't exercise? Actually, the body starts to recover. So I started to slow things down and things started to fall back into place again.
Yeah, and I've noticed that too. I tend to be one that more is better.
Yeah.
And it's not always. You need to let your body rest, and it's, you're not gonna, your body's not gonna go all sideways if you don't lift weights for 5 days.
Right.
you know.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the last thing. I mean, we could have called this video, you know, 3 ways to change your lifestyle, and that's
True.
gonna be eat whole foods, right?
Absolutely. Take the junk out, eat a whole food organic diet.
So there you go. If you get good sleep and you exercise properly and you eat whole foods, organic whole foods, you can fix just about anything, right?
You can fix a whole lot.
Okay, well, any last thoughts, Nicole?
That's it.
All right, so we know that people have been watching us. If they're interested in your program, which you help with these lifestyle things, nutrition, workouts, all that stuff, um, they'll get $100 off your initial program.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they get a hold of you?
They can reach me at an email, thegutgirl1@gmail.com, or any social media platform at thegutgirlnv.
All right, so just mention this for $100 off. Nicole, as always, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.